What a game last night. Who watched the Eagles beat the Chicago Bears? Cody Parkey clanks the upright and the crossbar. Just insane. The chances of that happening and everything. Just wow. But here we are, winter season, Forza Horizon 4. I'm a few days late on covering this, but I want to make sure everyone's fully aware of what's going on here. So, the first seasonal championship where you can win an exclusive car is located at the bottom left of the map, as you can see right here near Ambleside. So there's two different cars we can get. It's the 1952 Hudson Hornet. That's what you're going to get from this first seasonal championship, which is called Auld Lang Syne. Now you have to do it in solo, and you also have to do it on expert difficulty, so make sure before you start doing any of this that your difficulty is appropriately set up on expert or higher if you want to, but just keep it on expert. Now, a tune for this car is practically, in my opinion, required. You have to upgrade it, you have to do something to make this thing more viable to drive. It's super slow stock, it scrapes and just does all kinds of weird stuff. So my tune is focused on handling. Now when you go to do these races, again, expert difficulty, you have to do it in solo, you cannot do it in co-op or PvP. So the Reliant Supervan, I put it to the top of the D class because that is the class restriction. Now when I say this thing is focused on handling, look at the drivatar scraping. Like, that's what happens a lot if you drive this car too aggressively and if you don't have a proper tune. So I recommend you have to use the handbrake a little bit and make sure you brake before you go through the turn. You want to brake, let go of the brake, and then start slowly and smoothly accelerating and turning through the corner, because if you don't do that, if you're too aggressive, if you're braking through the turn, most likely you're going to start scraping like that drivatar did, and it's really frustrating. It slows you down, and you're probably not going to be getting first place on the races if you do that. So as you can see right there though, we got first place. We had no problem getting first place all three races. Now you have to win the championship, you have to get first place, as I did here. Even though that Marty 85 in second and 12th place almost beat me because of that weird glitch, and I don't know how that would have worked, but Auld Lang Slang, whatever, I don't even remember what that was. But it is complete, as you can see right here. We got the Hudson Hornet, and don't really care for the car. I was not in a rush to complete these just because the two cars that were winning, in my opinion, aren't anything special, nothing that I'm super excited to drive, but they will get added automatically right to your garage. As you can see, it'll pop up, say, new car to collect, the 1952 Hudson Hornet. So that takes care of the first seasonal championship and the first reward. You cannot go back and do it again. You're not going to be able to get a second Hornet. It'll just say completed, but you can go to co-op or PvP if you want to get some more spins and credits. So just keep that in mind. Wanted to point that out. You cannot do it again and get the car and the rewards a second time. Now the second seasonal championship, all the way at the top right of the map, so filter for seasonal events if you're having trouble finding these. This one, it's a little bit easier because you can use a normal car, but we are in winter and we're using, the event is called the Tortoise and the Hare. Huge tanky cars and then really small light cars. Now, I decided to go with the Lamborghini. They're all sprint races, and the tune that I made for this thing, which you'll see in just a second here, is focused on just being fast enough to win. Now again, same thing, you have to be in solo and you have to win on expert difficulty. Co-op's not going to work, PvP's not going to work, but this is the car I used. I tuned it to the top of the A class, which is the highest restriction you're allowed to use here for these cars. So here's my tune. Again, this thing accelerates super fast, pretty good top speed, and I tuned the handling a lot to make this thing very viable. It's tuned mainly for the dirt. Obviously, most of the time when you're on the streets, on the actual road, you're going to be going in more of a straight line. But the dirt parts of the races is when you're going to need to turn a lot, and that's what it's tuned for. So it might be a little bit slippery on the streets, but the goal of it was to win the races and just destroy the expert drivatars. And as you can see here, I mean, they're not even close to me. You can't even see them at the bottom left on my mini-map. That's how far ahead I am when I was using this tune for the races. So this tune, it worked perfectly with this Lamborghini SUV. You don't have to use this car. When you go to do this event, it gives you the options of all the cars that you have in your garage that you can use. And then you can also go and buy a car that you may not have that you might want to use for it. So doesn't matter what car you use, you don't have to use my tune, but I do highly recommend it. So Tortoise in the hair complete. We got first place against the expert drivatars again, and this championship rewards us with the Citroën DS3 Racing. I think that's how you say that, Citroën. Keep in mind though, the car automaker, the brand is not Citroën, it's actually DS Automobiles. So when you go to your garage to get it, that's where you're going to want to look, is under D, DS Automobiles. So keep that in mind. But that is pretty much it. That's the winter seasonal events here in the first couple weeks of January. I really hope that this video mainly makes everyone aware. Hopefully the tunes help you out if you've been having any issues. And yeah, go get these two cars. So hope this helped you guys out. I'm out though. Peace.